Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT. Eric Young making his way into my WWE universe. Eric Young is one of the newly downloaded superstars, and he will be taking on... if it loads. Well, anyway, welcome to NXT. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Who's he going to be taking on? Who is it? Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel. Alright, and they've even got the glove. That's the thing I was so happy about. I've seen so many things with that glove, and I love it, so I'm glad that they got the glove, so that's cool. So we're going to be seeing Christopher Daniels versus Eric Young as we talk about some things here. Obviously, we have to do the ratings. We also have to cover what happened on Universe Raw. I will talk about some Dean Ambrose promos. Sorry, I'm still writing this down. It loaded a little quicker than I thought that it would. And we'll talk about the WWE Network a little bit. So let's see. Let's see. Let me check the day. Okay, so the network was released last Wednesday, and I had already taped NXT, correct? No. I don't even think... did I even talk about it? Oh, I did. I did talk about it. $10, we get all sorts of fun, good stuff. So I already talked about the network. I don't know why I'm doing the same things twice. Alright, so we got the ratings. We've got Raw. We'll talk about what happened with CM Punk. We'll talk about how SmackDown's gonna work. What is Money in the Bank gonna do? And we'll talk about the rivalry system as well. So we will talk about that. A bunch of good stuff. I can't really talk about real Monday Night Raw because it hasn't happened yet. I'm making this video on Sunday night, so I really don't know what happened. You know, we could probably talk some football. So if you stick around and if that's your type of thing, we'll talk about some football at the end of it. I'll hurry and put that down. Football, because I just need to brag a little more. Alright, so brag about... Fubo, FB. Okay. So, let's get going. Oh, and you know what, I'm also going to start this off by saying, obviously at the introduction of this video and at the end of this video, and the ones that you've probably seen on my channel in the past couple of days, I have actually found an editing system. It was already on my computer, called Movie Studio Platinum. Something like that, on my my Sony Asus. Isn't it the Asus one? Oh, maybe it's not, but the Sony one. Vio series. Okay, so it's got Movie Platinum Studio, and I didn't even know what that was. So I hurried and played around with it because I figured, oh, I bet I could do a keying out thing on that, and I could, and I can. I just need to get the proper lighting, the proper camera fixture, and I need a bigger space for it to work. So I mean, I'm trying to build up basically what the creatures have, and it's taken me a long time. It could take a whole year. But I am planning to get that up and going and start getting better at editing. And with Movie Platinum Studio, I'm going to be able to do all sorts of fun stuff. I really cannot wait. I'm going to get a better computer, and I'm super excited. 1, 2, ooh, near fall there for Eric Young. Let's talk about the ratings first off. The ratings for my Universe mode. And basically what I did here is I went to every episode of Monday Night Raw. I took the views that it got, so for instance, the very first one after Extreme Rules, when I started separating them by episodes, that was the cutoff after Extreme Rules. So we see, we've got episode 11 for Monday Night Raw, had 491 views and 14 likes. So, the rating for that Monday Night Raw, even though it was more popular than the current episodes of Monday Night Raw, more people watched it, it didn't get as many likes. So, its rating is just as low. 35 is okay. We're gonna kind of get like a median type of a range here, and we'll see if it's up or down. I'll probably do some charts and stuff. But there you go, and I think Christopher Daniels has just won this match over Eric Young, which is kind of cool. So yes, so let's go over the best rated episode. Let's see. I believe they were both recently. Best rated episode for Monday Night Raw. 24. Yes, episode 24 of Universe Mode. for Monday Night Raw. I'm going to circle that. And that one was the best episode for Monday Night Raw. Let's go to the next match here. Oops, I might not want to go to this match. Oh, well, I'll skip it. And the best episode for Friday Night SmackDown was a tie between the most recent one, episode 33, and episode 27. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the cards of those. And they're definitely going to be eligible for some sort of an award. But, well, there you go. And, yes, I do not want to watch this match. So as soon as I can, I will skip it. Okay, so let's go straight to the ratings. Basically what I did is I took those views, divided them by the likes per each episode, and then I got the rating. And then I took all of those ratings, added them up, and divided them by how many shows were in the time period, and I got the overall rating for that quarter. Now, the overall rating for Monday Night Raw was 57.6. Okay? Raw had a 57.6 as its first ever quarterly rating. Now, Friday Night SmackDown had a huge advantage. It also had a lot of disadvantages. Friday Night SmackDown is not affiliated with, like, for instance, when people look up the Universe mode, they're going to look up Monday Night Raw Episode 1. They're not going to look up SmackDown or NXT or Superstars, because they're all secondary shows. So really, SmackDown was kind of at a disadvantage here. They also had an extra episode that Raw did not. Of last week's Raw didn't count because there was no Raw. There was no video to be... there was no video to be rated. So they were at a slight disadvantage. But overall, with two 12s as its ratings, I think it edged it over a bit. Raw obviously had the best rating of 15, and SmackDown had two of them tied for 12. So, SmackDown, its rating for quarter number 1, 50.9. And I do have these written down, and we will continue to look over the totals. So if you feel that Monday Night Raw is going to be a better show in quarter 2, you need to show your support on the videos, and you need to like the videos. Alright, so now we've got Rick Victor going up against RVD. This should be okay. Maybe not interesting, but it should be okay nonetheless. I'll probably just skip the entrances. So there you go. There's the ratings. I've already got quarter 2 set up in the next panel. What I should have done was pages. I should have done half one page, and then on the next page, half one page. But I tried to fit it all on one. Oh, and then we have the pay-per-views. So let's actually flip the page, and we'll talk about the pay-per-views. Now, King of the Ring is the first pay-per-view I'm counting in the ratings. Because WrestleMania doesn't count, and Extreme Rules doesn't count either. We didn't show the full thing. So, King of the Ring had 269 views. Only 6 likes, giving it a rating of 44.8. A little better than Raw and SmackDown. Now we go to SmackDown's pay-per-view in quarter number 1. 119 views. Not necessarily more popular, but with an equal 6 likes, SmackDown's No Way Out wins the ratings war for the pay-per-views, and it got a 19.8. I think that is the 4th best show out of all of my Universe episodes. So, No Way Out was the better pay-per-view as per the WWE Ginger King universe. So, pretty interesting. I wish that I had the time and I had the software to do charts and stuff. I'm pretty sure I do somewhere on here. And I would do so, because that's really awesome. It's really cool statistics. I really like it, and so far, SmackDown winning the ratings war. So, ratings done. Cross it off. Next, Monday Night Raw. On Universe mode of my Monday Night Raw, CM Punk decided to turn on the spades. We have a final verdict, but first I want to talk about what's going to go on SmackDown. Now, on SmackDown, we are going to get a 6-man tag team elimination match between all 6 of the Money in the Bank participants. We're also going to get the world champion going one-on-one against Yokozuna. Alright, Kurt Angle versus Yokozuna. Sergeant Slaughter probably going to be in his corner. Yet to be known where Dean Ambrose will be. We'll talk a little more about Dean Ambrose and his roots later on. We are also going to get Randy Orton teaming up with Layla, going up against James Storm and number 1 contender to the Divas Championship, Natalya. Alright? We are also going to get... I'm not done. We're still going. We're also going to get Rey Mysterio versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And to me, this is my least favorite rivalry of all the rivalries right now. It just seems meh. You know, last week on SmackDown we had a little bit of repetitiveness. And we're also going to get Bo Dallas somehow with Aiden English. And the last rivalry was Randy Orton. And so yeah, we'll have Bo Dallas, Aiden English. We'll have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Ray. Layla, Randy versus James Storm and Natalya. Money in the Bank 6-man. And the world champion will be in action. Excuse me. So those are going to be the 5 matches for Friday Night SmackDown. One of the comments this week was, the rivalry system is so broken, and it was something along the lines of that, and there was more to it, I just can't remember it. And I couldn't agree more. I'm not a big fan of this rivalry system. Now, in some essences, I do like it, and it does work. But, for the majority of the time, you get clunky rematches. Like he said, one of the examples he gave was that you start out with an Extreme Rules match and then you downgrade to a singles match. There's no sense to it. It doesn't make sense. To me, I would rather use it as a template. So, for instance, if I wanted... I really like that it's, sometimes they just pop up with random things. And if I don't like them, I'll end the rivalry and I'll continue it in my own way. Much like with James Storm and Randy Orton, which I believe could be my favorite rivalry so far this year, as Rick Victor tries to get a victory. So, it could be very interesting. And Rick Victor here, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? Is he going to DDT RVD? He's got a finisher. He might be looking to take RVD out. Getting a little distracted by the action in the ring here on NXT. RVD. Nice suplex there. Alright, well, whatever. We'll continue. So that's going to be Friday Night SmackDown. On Money in the Bank, let me actually go down the matches that we're going to be having. Alright, we're going to have Layla. No particular order, by the way. For the Divas Championship, Layla versus Natalya. Okay, for Divas. Alright. Oh my god. RVD just took out Rick Victor. For the minimal title... Oh, it's also the Divas. Okay, so let's go on to the tag teams. So tags. Tag and tag. It's going to be Shield versus Unknown. Alright. Or maybe it won't. I might take Shield out and I might not use Shield. It depends on if I have enough space or not. I'm not quite sure if I have 7 or 8 matches to work with. RVD going for a win. Not going to go. We're going to have Tons of Funk versus, and let's break the news to you, CM Punk has left the Spades. Confirmed by AJ Styles and CM Punk. Both parties agree that they are no longer together. CM Punk is not with the Spades. He's got a lot of issues with Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett has a lot of issues with him. However, I find it interesting that CM Punk has maintained his relationship with AJ Styles. So AJ Styles is kind of like a middleman here. So the Spades have lost their ace, and they could be in a market for a new ace. That could be coming up. Alright, so we're going to have Tons of Funk versus a debuting tag team. Who's it going to be? I know, but you don't. So that'll be fun and exciting. And look at this, Rey Mysterio coming out, cheering on his pal, RVD. There you go. Alright, let's exit. I want to make sure that I'm playing the matches I want. Let's move on to the smaller titles. We've got the INT and the US. Alright, well, US/World I'll put there as well. Alright, so the Intercontinental Championship, we're going to have Razor Ramon versus Titus. Like I said, I don't really care about the finishing of, well, let's skip that match. And here we go, Titus O'Neil versus Jericho. I don't really care about Titus O'Neil versus Heath Slater, but it has been a better rivalry than Ray and Dragon Steamboat, the Dragons, so they deserve to be rewarded. Razor Ramon will be taking on Titus O'Neil for the Intercontinental Championship. For the World Championship, Dean Ambrose earning his opportunity against Kurt Angle. We'll find out more about Dean Ambrose later on tonight and on Friday Night SmackDown. So let's see, we've got 4 confirmed matches already. We have to have an Randy Orton versus Storm rivalry match. We have to have a Rey Mysterio and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in some form or fashion. So we'll go Rey versus Dragon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there's 7. Am I missing anything? WWE Championship. Okay, so yeah, the Shield did not have a match. My mistake. So the Shield are still your tag team champions. I don't think they're going to have a match at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. They'll probably be cheering on Dean Ambrose. And the Shield, I mean, looking at SmackDown, if Dean Ambrose picks up a win on SmackDown, or on, at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, we're missing the Money in the Bank match. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, no Shield, and then Money in the Bank. Okay. So yeah, Shield could reign supreme come Sunday night. They could have all the championships in the SmackDown brand. So that's interesting. Very interesting indeed. So there's your matchups. I'll go through it once again because I was being a little stuttery, as we have 2 Monday Night Raw competitors. Titus O'Neil going for the Intercontinental Championship. Chris Jericho going to be vying for the Money in the Bank come Sunday. Alright, so let's go back down the pay-per-view list. We'll probably end the night with Money in the Bank. We'll also end the night with the WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus John Cena. Hold on, I might axe Ray versus Dragon because I don't like it. Because we don't have John versus AJ. Damn it. Alright, so we've got Money in the Bank. John versus AJ. Dean versus Kurt. Alright, I'm going to cross these out as I go. Randy Orton Storm is number 4. Layla versus Natalya, number 5. Tons of Funk versus debuting tag team, number 6. Razor versus Titus, number 7. And if I have an 8th, it'll be Ray versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And I might do something nifty in that, and I might not. Or I might just axe it all together, and I might not. It just really depends. But there's our 7, so if I have the room, I will do better to fix that. Okay, so we're done talking about my universe mode. Let's talk about Dean Ambrose. This man, alright, I only knew him as Dean Ambrose from FCW. I knew his name was John Moxley in the Independents, but I've never, ever looked him up. I did that this past week, and I fell in love. Because this guy commits to a character. And the Dean Ambrose I'm seeing now on Raw and SmackDown, the scratching, the crazy talking to himself, Dean Ambrose is turning into John Moxley. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up JON space MOXLEY. This dude is insane. He has one promo in particular after losing, I think it was the IWP Championship, maybe? I don't know. Titus O'Neil going for the win. 1, no. He has one promo in particular called, I'm Just a Sick Guy. If you put in YouTube, I'm just a sick guy, it pops right up. Pops right up, number 1. It's the only thing. And you watch that, and it's about 6 minutes long. And it's him, and he's in the corner talking to himself, and the interview lady comes and asks him a question, and he continues to sing and talk to himself, and then he freaks out, and he, like, puts his hand on her head. He's going crazy, like, he's just insane, like, he's full-on Joker. And I don't know when this was. This could have been before the Joker was even in Batman, so I don't know, but I was impressed. And so I'm getting a lot of material for my Dean Ambrose versus Kurt feud. 1, 2, 3, and there you go. So there you go. Dean Ambrose, go look that stuff up. It is great. Now I'm going to brag about football while we watch the replay. I chose, on September 5th of 2013, I chose the Seattle Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. Why? Because I knew that they could do it. Basically, they were a hired group of thugs, mercenaries, if you will, to take out the Broncos, who seemed damn near unstoppable throughout the season. So, I mean, dear God, this Super Bowl is shaping up like WrestleMania. It's all the way back in September that I booked this. I said, Seattle, you're my guys. You gotta win it so that the Broncos don't. I'm an avid Raiders fan. I'm an Oakland Raiders fan, but I know that they can't get the job done. So I had to bring in a mercenary group named the Seattle Seahawks, and they got the job done. They will be facing the Broncos at the Super Bowl, and I'm ecstatic because I predicted Seattle would win the Super Bowl, so I've got a lot invested in this. Also, the Jazz game bet. It's a good year for me predicting things. Now I just need Daniel Bryan to win the WWE Championship over Orton at the WrestleMania pay-per-view. And I mean, what would that be, a Triple Crown predictor of sporting events? I don't know. That would be hella cool, though. I'm ecstatic. And we've got Royal Rumble coming Sunday. And that same Sunday, you're gonna get your Money in the Bank pay-per-view for me. So it's gonna be a great week, ladies and gentlemen. A great week indeed. Ooh, look, Owen Hart. Look at that. Interesting. Humdy hum hum hum. Okay. So I actually want to go to calendar. And then we'll be going into SummerSlam. And I wanted to do something with NXT and Feast and Fired. But really, NXT is not its own show anymore because it started to repeat matches, and it's a shame. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Will I continue to do Feast or Fired? Most likely. Maybe at the SummerSlam or Survivor Series. You know, I mean, here we've got Hell in a Cell, Night of Champions. So basically, again, I want to reiterate, SummerSlam also a co-hosted pay-per-view. Night of Champions will just be a Monday Night Raw. Hell in a Cell will just... Well, actually, I think I switched that. So that's only going to be a SmackDown. That's only going to be a Raw. This one, I wanted to be dual. And if I did that, SmackDown, dual, Raw, dual. Okay, I could do that. Okay, and again, this is probably changed from time to time. That's why you continue to watch NXT. It's ever-changing. So, dual. Alright, I'm going to put that on a hand. Raw. No, SmackDown. Raw. Dual. TLC was SmackDown? Yeah? Dual. Raw. Okay, so they each have 2 with 3 duels in between, and then WrestleMania is a duel as well. Okay, so that's good. It's good. It pretty much evens out, and we'll be going to WrestleMania, so that's awesome. Let's see. I want to... Okay, so this right here starts the ratings. Alright, now we're going to go over 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and we'll probably include this whole week up to Hell in a Cell, and the first day of before Survivor Series. So, let's see, it would be about April, like middle of April or something like that when we get to this point. And that's going to be the cutoff for quarter 2, and we'll be halfway through the season, and then 3 more months, and we'll cut it off there, and right after the Royal Rumble, and then we'll have Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania as the 4th quarter, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see these ratings. I can't wait. I'm super excited, and we should be finished a couple of months before the new wrestling game comes out. So that'll leave me a little time to take a break, take a breather from wrestling, give me a bit of an off season. I'll probably play some like community creations, or I'll probably goof around with my friends who will most likely be involved in this type of thing by then. So there's a lot going on with my universe mode, a lot of plans in motion. I love when you guys send me your ideas and your storyline ideas. Don't worry, they're all in my head. Alright? I just don't want to spoil them. Obviously, last week on NXT, we had Team Hellish No, Team Hellish Brothers of Destruction. Team Hellish Brothers of Destruction is what I decided on that tag team name. So we've still got them running around. We still haven't seen the Wyatts and all this other fun stuff. So hey, if the Spades are falling apart, they'll fall apart by SummerSlam. And maybe we'll bring in the Wyatts and Team Brothers, Hellish Brothers of Destruction. So you never know. You never know with my universe mode. It can turn on a dime. Until Friday Night SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen, I am Derek D. Ginger King, checking out.